Hello students. Now let us discuss the third aspect of the ecosystem, that is decomposition. Very important though, but we never pay attention to it. Yes, it is very important because whatever nutrients are available on earth, that is result of decomposition only. If it is to be taken from the organic substrate, that is the living organisms, whatever nutrients they have accumulated in the terms of secondary productivity, that has somehow to reach back the soil itself. So how that takes place? That would take place by the process of decomposition. Very important. Time and again I'm repeating. When I'm saying that it is about decomposition, another thing that I need to take into consideration is detritus food chain. See, understanding ecosystem from the food chain point of view makes it quite easy. So we are going to take detritus food chain. Also remember one thing, that the detritus food chain is the main flow of energy, is the main source of flow of energy, or the main process by which the energy flow takes place in a terrestrial ecosystem. All right. If you ever have seen some sort of a serial on Discovery Channel or National Geographic, you might have seen the organism is feeding, the lion is feeding on the deer, and it feeds for some time and leaves those bones and rest of the things over there. Where do they go? Where do all the nutrients which are stored in those bones and the leftover meat, where do they go? That detritus food chain has to take care of. Now the terrestrial ecosystem, the main flow of energy is by detritus food chain, and in the aquatic ecosystem, that is grazing food chain. Grazing is that one is eating the other one, and in detritus food chain, one organism is decomposing the other, while the other one is yet again contributing to the decomposition of that organism. So detritus food chain is an important aspect of decomposition. Now whatever living organism was when it was living, that has nothing to do with detritus chain. As soon as the organism dies, or there is a litter fall of leaves from the tree, it becomes detritus. Now what is detritus? It is dead and decaying. Whenever you hear the term detritus, please remember dead and decaying. Decaying means some sort of decomposition has started working on it. That means it is dead, it cannot take care of itself. Now that part, that is going to be food to the microbes which feed on them. So when we talk about decomposition, this dead and decaying matter has to undergo 5 different steps. And as I told you that we say that after death we become soil, this dead and decaying organism has to become soil basically. How it would become? There would be 5 steps. First one is fragmentation. Now see, whatever would happen in this lies in its name, the English meaning. Making fragments of something. Whom? This dead and decaying organism. If it is a leaf, make it fragments, small fragments. If it is an organism, make it small fragment. Then animal, organism, leaves are also organisms part. Then we have, after fragmentation, there is a process known as leaching. Now, I guess this would be difficult to understand, so we'll discuss what it is. After leaching, we have catabolism. Now, catabolism is the term which refers to breakdown. Okay. Now, how is fragmentation different from catabolism? Fragmentation is breaking this. Alright, if I am breaking this into 2 parts, that would be I am making fragments of it. But when I am breaking it metabolically with the help of enzymes, I am getting to the simpler biomolecules. I am breaking the larger molecules into the smaller molecules, not the entire entity into smaller fragments. Breaking it into simpler molecules would be known as catabolism. Then the 4th step happens to be humification. Now what happens over here? That all this is happening at a fast rate. Now somebody has to come and put a check on that fast rate. That is done by the process of humification. And last one is turning to soil, that is mineralization. So this is what decomposition is going to be all about. Let's take each of this part individually. Take a leaf supposedly. This is a leaf. dead and decaying, so I'm making its periphery little bit distorted. It is dead and decaying leaf which has fallen on soil from the plant. It would be broken down. It would be broken down into small fragments by detritivores. Who are detritivores? Those like carnivores, they fed on flesh, herbivores, they fed on grasses. Those vores which are going to feed on detritus, they would be detritivores. Take the example, we have earthworm. Okay, those are the detritivores. They just make fragments of the dead and decaying matter. Okay, this is the leaf we are talking about. Let's take a dog over here, a dead dog. So the dead dog would be first eaten by vultures and all. The scavengers would break down its parts and leave nothing over there, and almost nothing would be there. There would be only bones. Then there would be few microbes which would come and fragment those bones. So the fragmentation process is done by the detritivores. When these fragments are done, these come in contact with the soil. So all the soluble organic components in this, supposedly there are soluble inorganic components, water soluble, supposedly water falls over there, or the moisture in the soil is going to take those organic constituents and it is going to seep deep in the soil. That process is known as leaching. Understand it once again, that supposedly the soluble organic components of these fragments would get into the soil and they would percolate deep down in the soil. That process is known as leaching. Now comes the story of saprophytes. What are saprophytes? We have discussed earlier. Saprophytes are those organisms which throw their digestive juices, enzymes, on the food material, digest it outside the body and then engulf it. That is their mode of nutrition. So catabolism would take place by the agency of saprophytes, which would throw their digestive enzymes and digest the fragments, which is having now insoluble organic solvents, insoluble organic contents. Leaching took away the soluble organic contents. Now whatever it is left with, it is left with inorganic components and the insoluble organic components. So the insoluble organic components would be digested by the digestive enzymes of the saprophytes, which would be, for instance, mostly it is the fungi. Okay, they would feed on that. Mushrooms and all, you must be knowing, those fungi would feed on this dead and decaying matter. They would digest it enzymatically, so the insoluble organic content also gets digested and that also becomes inorganic. Now a stoppage has to be put over here. Now what happens, this material which has been catabolized by the saprophytes, that would turn into an amorphous colloidal substance which is known as humus. Okay, in humification what happens, this part, supposedly this is this part, this has been digested almost, this part, this fragment I am taking, this fragment has been completely digested by the saprophyte. This part would get converted to humus. That means it would take a colloidal formation, which is an amorphous substance. And what happens when something becomes humus is that their degradation becomes very, very, very slow. It is very resistant to microbial action. Had it been not resistant to microbial action, further catabolism and decomposition would have taken place, which would not lead to mineralization. What we want over here is that the inorganic components of this part, the remaining part, can be decomposed slowly and steadily. So 90% of the microbial action would be resisted when the humus has been formed. The remaining 10% would slowly and steadily add the minerals to the soil. Okay, so you see it all started with a leaf, a proper leaf. It got broken into the pieces by fragmentation. Whatever was soluble in water, organic part, that got leached into the soil. Then whatever was left, that organic, insoluble and inorganic, that was digested by the saprophytes enzymes outside the body itself. Then that digested part which had undergone catabolism, that was meant to undergo the process of humification, where it became the humus, and as soon as the microbial action declined to almost 90%, the remaining of the decomposition took place by the means of mineralization, where minerals were added to the soil. So in this way, the leaf which became as a result of soil ultimately becomes soil. So the decomposition process is very, very important, because it leads to the fourth important aspect, that is the nutrient cycling. So we are going to discuss nutrient cycling, the nutrients, the most important nutrients for the plants, which is nitrogen, phosphorus, these two, and carbon dioxide, so carbon basically, and water. These four different cycles, basically we are dealing with N, P and C, nitrogen, phosphorus and carbon, how these nutrients are circulated on earth in the various biomes, and how the cycling takes place, how their resources are always kept abundant so that it is available for the productivity, that we are going to study under nutrient cycling. And do remember, this decomposition process has a vital role in nutrient cycling as well. Thank you.